personally find it really fun to work with people who I've worked in front of and they've worked in front of me. Then like that first ice-breaking thing is done.
There's a lot of engineering Londa content, and then there's a lot of like rich, sort of prissy, like fancy college that no one relates to type of content.
But the truth is we're all equally pissed off that it's come out after so long.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's the actual honest truth. And we're hoping that the fourth season doesn't take even longer.
Hello and welcome guys. Welcome the cast of Big to ETimes. Such a pleasure to see you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's start. Let's dive into it. Okay, season 3 is coming and I'm a fan of the show. Okay, first let me start by that. I have a complaint. Why did you guys take so long for the show, for the season 3 to arrive on board, right? Let's start with that first and then we'll get into it. Take it over, guys.
So we shot it some time ago. Well, not too long ago, but some time ago. I think what happened basically was that after shooting the second season, we delayed getting, I guess they took some time to write it. We took some time to shoot it. And by the time we ended up circulating it, I think was around the pandemic time, right? When OTTs were being flooded with offers anyway. So I think the producers were waiting for the right time, and no righter time than Dice and Woot coming together. So I guess, although it shouldn't have taken this long.
All right. That's a diplomatic answer I got from Shantanu, right? I want some. You tell me why such a long wait.
But the truth is we're all equally pissed off that it's come out after so long.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's the actual honest truth. And we're hoping that the fourth season doesn't take even longer.
Oh, I hope so too, right? But you guys are reuniting after a very long time with Big Season 3. Tell me let's start with the first nostalgia feeling. Did you get that nostalgic feeling while reuniting on the show? And how did you guys fit in, and how comfortable you got? Like how soon?
I don't think nostalgia comes in when it comes to just us meeting together and just acting. But where it does come into the picture is when we're playing these characters that we have been growing up with also. So we were a part of Baked in 2014. We were shooting the first season.
Right.
So these characters have been a little part of us and we've been part of them since 2014. So nostalgia kicks in when you're on set and you're like, okay, now I've got to bring this part out again, and you have to be your own Haris and Oni and Body and Tara. And so that's where it's like, shit, yeah, this show it's given us so much, and oh damn, we have to bring it back again and again. But since we know each other so well, we hang out all the time, we're friends. So hame aisa nahi lagta, oh nice to see you again, brother. Oh hi, how are you? How's it going now? That.
All right. Okay, let me ask you this: Is it easy to work with friends and act with friends, or is it confusing? How does it work if you're working with your friends?
I personally find it really fun to work with people who I've worked in front of and they've worked in front of me. Then like that first ice-breaking thing is done. And all of these people, we've all seen each other fart and burp all the time. So this little thing, this team of ours is just really close to my heart. And it's always a party on set, it really is. And we worked with each other before Baked also. We used to do a lot of plays back in Delhi. And it's always been fun working with these guys.
All right. Pranay, you've been quiet. How about you? Tell me that.
I think the thing is that our friendship is based on the fact that we're all actors. That's how we met.
Okay,
even though Shantanu and Manik were in college together and stuff like that, but there also they used to act together in their drama society. So, because we have been so comfortable working with each other and stuff, I think that's the foundation of our friendship as well. So that's why it's enjoyable to work with each other, and we know that we have a language that we speak that we understand, and we have an understanding where we can do things and add to layers of the script and stuff like that to add elements to what we're doing. So it becomes a lot of fun.
That's true. Shantanu, how about you?
I don't know. I feel like we've also, along with the characters, we're growing older together. Just in terms of Baked, we've started in 2014 and it's 2022 now. It's 3 seasons spread over 8 years. So like that's a lot of time to spend with the same characters and with the same people. So we've actually, our friendship outside, well, not to discuss it, I mean, sure, the friendship's great and all, but there's something about the show and getting back to play these characters on the show that is like a part of, like a nice part of this friendship. Like it's it's not like if tomorrow there was to be no more Baked, we wouldn't be friends. We would obviously be friends, but I think it just gets colored slightly differently, and it becomes just all the more special.
All right, that's fair enough. Okay, let's go back in 2014. All right, when we first saw the first episode of Baked came in, did you guys ever realize that it's gonna be as a cult classic for guys like us who enjoy watching it over and over again?
Fuck no.
No clue. We had no clue, dude. Like, it was the first web series that ever came out in India. I mean, it was literally, I thought that my 2 family members plus these guys, their family members, there'll be a total of like 15, 20 people who watch it.
Okay.
And then eventually we ended up hitting 1 million in the first week or something. And we're like, what the hell has happened, dude? Like it was unfathomable at that time.
All right. If I ask, like, what is about this show that instantly connected with the audience? Do you have any idea over 3 seasons? Did you form an idea what clicks with the audience right now?
I mean, at first glance, I'm sure it was a lot to do with undergraduates, Delhi University, and university living and all that, hostel, and how your friends are and your exes are and all of that. So on that level, it was at first glance very relatable, I think, for the first 2 seasons. And yeah, that's how it started.
Okay. Shantanu?
And like, it's really, I feel like it's a very authentic show. You know, it represents, like, it shows Delhi University, but we've also shot it in Delhi University. So that's what makes it really authentic. And all these characters are real people. Like the creator of the show, Vishwajoy and Akash, like, I mean, like, these people have existed in Vishwajoy's life at some point or the other, you know? So they are also real people. Like, they've been inspired by real people. So that's what makes it all the more relatable.
It's a breath of fresh air from the sort of general college storytelling that you see that revolves around either being in an engineering college or preparing to get into an engineering college in Kota or wherever you go to prepare for it. So I feel like they either do
Wherever you go to prepare for it.
they do a lot of content for like engineering. There's a lot of engineering Londa content, and then there's a lot of like rich, sort of prissy, like fancy college that no one relates to type of content. And I feel like Bake sort of treads the line where there's like a lot of realism. Like Kriti said, there's so much authenticity to the people that you encounter that I feel like that's what connected with people in the first season. Like it was aspirational yet authentic. And if people can sort of find a thread of that in the third season and find that believability still, I would really, really go out on a limb to sell the shit out of this show, man. Really.
Okay, that's nice. Okay, guys, I also wanted to ask you, like you guys said, it was one of the web series that came in India, like on YouTube for say to start watching it, right?
First one, yeah.
Yeah, the first one, and it has evolved since then. Now there's an OTT boom happening right now, and there's so much of content to watch on this particular platform. So I want to ask you, like, the guys who started the OTT or web series chain of thought. It seems like, how did you see this this OTT get evolved and the content that we are producing on this platform and audience evolving and accepting the content that we are putting out there? What do you see OTT as a platform as a whole? How do you see it?
I mean, I think it's a great it's a great thing that's happening in India where you have more and more opportunity to put out your work. Mm-hmm. But bringing it back to Baked, all I'd like to say is that if it stood the test of time and it has been the first web series and it's continuing to be put out there, that's the testament to the love that people have shown us. And that's what I really appreciate, because people have really been fond of this show. Our audience is special because they are not like the audience of another show that I've done. Like any other show that I've done, people have been like given us love. But when people give us love for Baked, it's something different. They feel like family. They're like, they're truly rooting for us. And that's what I think is amazing.
All right. So what liberty does an OTT platform gives you as an actor, if I have to ask you that?
As an actor,
Yeah. Or as a content creator, or as someone who's associated with this particular platform. So how do you see it?
I think it's just sheer numbers. You have so much opportunity to make content that you get to think more freely and not only in formulaic ways.
Anyone has anything to add to it?
I mean,
Audience are enjoying it a lot, like I just get to see so many different types of stories, and I feel like represented in so many different types. Like as a college student, you feel like, oh yeah, this has happened with me. Like Shantanu said in another interview that like this was about like the arts section of the Delhi University, the people who've taken humanities, and I feel like it's really like nice to be able to sort of reach out to people like that, and so I think lots of more opportunity and a lot of more stories, small, big, all sorts,
yeah, it's really opened it up. Like think of shows like Asur on Voot, or like your adulting that Dice Media made. This is all the type of content that honestly 10 years ago, kahan hota? Like where would it have been? Like the only alternative content that was there to cinema would literally be those snippets that used to come on MTV, like your Lola Kuti was the only sort of sketch or like whatever you can compare to the vast sea that exists right now. So in terms of that, yeah, it has truly democratized content. There is truly a lot of work now that is there for us to do. And it doesn't change anything in terms of, yeah, you can tell a slice of life story where like Pranay's character doesn't come in like a Ferrari dancing to like a Bosco Caesar choreographed song and that still be college, like it's nice that people are getting like I spoke earlier about engineering colleges and their preparation. It is beautiful that they get represented. What is special about a show like Aspirants, that the civil servants guys who work to prepare for UPSC for 6-7 years, they were never represented. They were never a part of pop culture. Like what are these guys up to? What are they doing in old Rajinder Nagar? But now thanks to Aspirants, there is their life has been colored, they feel represented. They can look at YouTube and be like, hey, that's my life. Kota Factory did that. These people did that. No one did it for liberal arts graduates set in Delhi University except for us, except for Baked in 2014. And hopefully we will carry that journey forward till we become old enough to be professors at Delhi University, which we already are, by the way.
Fair enough. But do you guys also agree that we are still fairly young in this particular game of OTT? You think a lot of filtration is needed? A lot of content is put out there which needs some filtration out there. How do you guys see it? Do you believe we are fairly new in this particular thing?
You're right. We are fairly new.
We're still figuring it out.
Filtration is needed. I feel like sometimes that gets misunderstood as censorship is needed or something like that, which I know. I mean, I know you might not mean that, but a lot of times your mind goes to that direction. I think what needs to happen is, I mean, more than anything, I think it just needs a like qualitative control.
Right.
And I think writers in India, there needs to be more agency that is given to them, because if you don't give agency and money to writers, people don't want to become writers, and then the people who become writers are people who are not trained at becoming writers, and then they are people who think that and then everybody starts thinking that अरे यार script तो जल्दी से लिख सकते हैं. So so then that mindset starts to make everything just qualitatively worse.
Fair enough.
So I think what's needed is like writing needs to be given more due.
You guys have anything to add to it?
No, that's pretty much all that's required. That's the only thing that will serve as quality control. If the writers are respected and paid more, then the kind of shows that we'll see on OTT won't be like a lot of the stuff that has faltered right now, which is packaging like sort of stars who aren't getting box office openings and putting them with whatever storyline and just releasing and dumping films on OTT, because that's not what's required. It doesn't need to be OTT honestly doesn't need to be a dumping ground for films that aren't going to find a box office opening on your first weekend. Like, you know, ki, oh, I might as well do a sale and just recover my cost.
Right.
Because you might as well use, the OTTs might as well use that money where they acquire one big film and greenlight 20 great bloody ideas that turn into stories where people like us can be cast. All of this boils down to that. All opinions come back to generating employment for ourselves.
That's rightly put. That's very deep, and also it gives a lot of perspective to think about. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.